Hello, folks, and welcome into a special TV edition of What's on Your Mind. Yes, folks, I am out of the 90.9 studios here today, and I am here in Studio B doing What's on Your Mind. So to any of you that said, I have a face for radio, take that. This face is on TV right now. The Lady Flames basketball team squared off against Jacksonville State for the right to go to the ASUN Championship against FGCU. The Gamecocks off to a hot start after this turnaround floater from Kiana Johnson gets the friendly bounce to make it 6-0 in the first quarter. The Lady Flames needed a spark, down by 9, and that came from D. Brown on this floater from about 6 feet out, and would get a little closer after Jordan Bailey would get nothing but nylon on that three-pointer towards the end of the first half. Now moving to the final seconds, the Flames down by 2. Kennedy Williams, ice water in her veins, ties the game with 3.3 seconds left. She would have 10 points on the night. The Lady Flames bench comes in to join the celebration, but the game is far from over. Final play, Kiana Johnson on the inbound, give and go from Madison McCoy. Layup is good as time expires. Jacksonville State wins it at the buzzer, 59-57. Johnson finished with 21 points on the night for the Gamecocks. The Lady Flames NCAA tournament hopes come to a bitter end in Alabama. The 14th-ranked Liberty Flames hosted the 15th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels, first-ranked matchup ever in the history of Liberty Baseball Stadium. Aaron Anderson cranks one deep to right field in the first inning. Will it stay fair? Will it stay fair? Curls it just around the foul pole to give the Flames a 1-0 lead in the first. Anderson's fourth on the season. That'd be the extent of the offense, however, as both teams' pitching staffs combined for 24 strikeouts between 8 different pitchers. However, the defense helped out a little. Look at Logan Matthew here on this foul ball, a Gold Glove caliber play in foul territory. Got to see that one more time. Logan Matthew cracked a smile after that one. The score would stay 1-0 into the 9th inning as Cade Hungate with 2 on and 2 out gets Max Reimer swinging to seal the Flames' victory. Liberty moves to 11-1 on the season, their 11th win in a row. Almost 2,700 people saw history at Liberty Baseball Stadium on this night, and Cade Hungate was pumped up after this one. Look at that guy, fist pumping, cheering. The Flames won, Tar Heels nothing. Welcome back into the special TV edition of What's on Your Mind. I'm Josh Lipowski, and now I'm sitting alongside the head coach of the Liberty Women's D1 hockey team, Chris Lowe's. Coach, first of all, thanks so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Coach, when you hear the fact that you have won 50 games in a row, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's 2 consecutive seasons, give or take, in which you have not lost a game, which is just absolutely incredible. You know, what do you think when you first hear that and how just mind-boggling that is?
Yeah, I want to add up the numbers again. But no, it's not something we think about very often. So we're quite aware that the streak began after game 2 of 2 seasons ago, so it's lasted a while here, and but no idea it was at that number. And really, it's something I'll probably think about more 10 years from now, looking back, and I think it'll be something that I'll cherish. But you know, for now, it's kind of year by year and setting new goals each season with the new team.
How do you allow yourself to be able to do that with a team? Because I know a lot of times, when you're dealing with, people that are younger, college age, sometimes it can be difficult not to look at. Heck, even professional athletes struggle with that. How do you strike that balance between not looking ahead too far and just focusing on game by game by game, year by year by year?
Yeah, I think it's something cool for us to highlight. I don't think the streak will never outdo our number 1 goal, which is winning national titles. But I think it's something we can find ways to celebrate without becoming a distraction. And I guess that's the other caveat, is we certainly wouldn't trade that for a chance to win a national title, right? So if the streak ends, but we reach our ultimate goal at the end of the year, we'll be happy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so, winning streaks are they're such a fickle thing in sports, and the fact that, they, when they end, and you know that it's going to come to a close at some point. But you've heard this said all the time about how your ultimate goal is to win a championship. So but at the same time, that's a very lofty goal, to be able to want to win a national championship and to continue winning as much as you have been. You and I talked a little bit about the standard that you guys have here as a program, and so tell me a bit about how you try to make sure you set your goals high enough to where you reach that standard, but not too high to where you're reaching a bit too far.
Yeah, well, I guess first, when I think about goals, they're not just exclusive to on ice. So we certainly have some standards we expect that our team will live up to, and that's in the classroom, that's in the weight room, and of course on the ice. Yeah, I think the other thing is just balancing it. I think last year we had a goal as a team to go, 25-4, which I thought would set us up really nicely in the regular season for a good ranking and a potential nationals run, and we went perfect. So I don't think we'd be doing the girls any favor if we gave them a result that was less than what we did last year. So our goal is to keep going up. So this year we would like to go perfect in the regular season.
Absolutely. So you mentioned how the goals are even off ice, even more than on ice. So tell me a bit about some of the off ice goals that you have for your players and even your fellow coaches.
Yeah, so I think the one measurable one is the academics, right? And that's not just GPA, but credits earned. And, I think a lot of the other ones are culture, which is, a big buzzword in college sports. And so that's really just the standards that we set for ourselves. And that's, when we're on the road in a restaurant, it's how we interact and impact with the other patrons and the staff. It's when we're around the rink and how we take care of what we've been fortunate to get our locker room and other things like that. So I think those are the culture things where, to be honest, a lot of times it's just a feel. And it's, hey, I like what this group's doing. I like the way we're trending, and I like the way we really treat each other. Can
you tell me a big moment where you've really seen that culture show its best side in the best way you feel in your time here, where you really saw that culture shine through the actions of your girls off the ice?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think for us, a lot of that is with our opponents, right? Hockey's a tough, physical, can be a little nasty at times, and I think the respect that our girls have earned from the other teams in the country, right? We want to be the best team, the most talented in the country, but we want to be the classiest. And I feel like weekend in and weekend out, they've done a great job of that. And I often hear about it even years after, right? When girls graduate from other programs, the respect they hopefully have for our school and for our hockey program.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So speaking of the program, your women's D1 program is underneath the umbrella of club sports, and club sports has a lot of sports. What is it, 40 sports or something like that you have under that umbrella? Tell me a little bit about club sports, what it is and what its mission is.
Yeah, I think, the mission is to align with the Liberty University and train champions for Christ and using the platform of sports for that. And, we're an athletic department just like the NCAA department is here at Liberty. And, some of the teams we play, they fall under their athletic department or club sports. And we're just providing opportunities for student athletes to finish their playing days while in university and hopefully at a high level.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about the relationship you share with different coaches and even with, Kirk Handy, who's the director of club sports. Tell me about the relationship you all share in terms of just, keeping the mission together, because at the end of the day, you all wear the same logo on your jersey.
Yeah, I think it's a really neat thing, and you get to build relationship with some coaches more than others. But just with our 5 hockey teams, that's 15 coaches, give and take, between the teams that we get to be around every day, day in, day out. And then there's just other programs I think that are being led by great people. You look at Coach Castro in wrestling, and he's the kind of guy that I watch from a distance, and I just know he's impacting his athletes in an incredible way and in an eternal way too, not just on the wrestling mat.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tell me about some games or some events that, some of these students should come out to you and support this women's D1 hockey team.
Yeah, for sure. We've got 2 home weekends remaining this semester. We've got Miami of Ohio, followed by Maryville. So I think all those are going to be great weekends. Our schedule's filled with top 10 teams and nationals teams, so we don't have a lot of cupcakes or games or weekends where we get to take off. So I think both those weekends offer an incredible opportunity to come see what our ladies do on the ice, and then hopefully we can keep the streak going.
Well, that's another incredible thing about your streak, is that you've played a lot of very difficult opponents, and that's something that's a general thing all around all club sports, particularly with hockey, is the fact that you schedule the best of the best. You schedule big opponents. I mean, the men's D1 team constantly makes travels to places like Adrian, Minot State, just talking about them. Even go down to D2, D3, it's the same way. Tell me about the importance of scheduling these good teams and making sure that you're facing the best competition week in and week out, so that you don't take a weekend off or maybe, get it out of sync as a team.
Yeah, I think there's 2 main things with that. The first is just our players' experience, right? They want to be challenged. They want to play the best, and they want to be in those games, right? Last year we had 2 overtime wins, right? And those are what create the memories. And then the second piece to that is looking back at our vision and our big goals, it prepares us for nationals, right? And I think it's maybe the one thing our team's done that's most impressive is hockey's a hard sport to win in single elimination games. And our girls to be able to go into these games and not have a hot goalie or refereeing we might disagree with impact us, and them just staying the course and getting the job done has been pretty resilient of our group.
There's a saying in sports to where you make your own luck in a lot of ways. And how do you as a team work to make your own luck in the sense that you try to make sure that you control what you can control and maybe try to, I hope this doesn't sound bad, but in a way, make sure that you manipulate things in a way to where you don't deal with, bad luck and things like that coming about?
Yeah, well, I think we've got to put a talented team on the ice, and there's two ways to do that: recruiting, bringing in the next level of athlete, and then from promoting and training up the girls we have and taking them to the next level in their game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for this interview. Coach Lopes, thank you so much for your time, and good luck to your team the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Awesome. Folks, we have one last time out, and when we come back, we are going to wrap up this show, and we're also going to preview the next show coming up tomorrow. What's on your mind? Here, folks, we'll be back after this time out.